What's good, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another video. It seems like the masses of people are acting like everything is normal. And it's just not. Those who are spiritually aware, those who are socially conscious, we can see what's going on. And it seems that the world is spinning on a broken axis. The inmates are running the asylum. And there's a lot of weird energy out there. It seems that disrespect has become normalcy. The lack of boundaries have become normalcy. And it's almost like people are deciding to just adapt to the dysfunction. And what I mean by that is, it seems that people are just joining in the circus. And there's a lot of people who are tolerating things that they should not tolerate. It's more important now than ever to get away from the wrong people. It's a time like never before where the difference is life or death, being around certain individuals. You got to understand that not everyone has your best interests at heart. And when you're a person who begins to discipline yourself, they'll say you're no fun. They'll say that you're not exciting. When you start to set boundaries for yourself, they will say that you're being difficult. When you decide to set healthy boundaries and preserve your energy, they'll say you're withdrawn and closed off. And it's really no winning with the mass majority of people. This is why you got to understand that God's chosen people are under a certain frequency where we understand each other. We get it. Because we have a like mind. And it's important that we don't take that for granted. It's important that we truly appreciate people who can see. Because I'm going to tell you this now. There's a lot of people out in the world that will target you because of your level of consciousness. They will target you because of your level of awareness. Because you're not supposed to see the world for what it is. And what we are seeing is far from normal. You're looking at a collapse take place. You looking at the world changing very quickly. And a lot of people choose to keep their head in the sand. And it's because they're afraid that they will have to make changes in their personal lives. And they rather remain oblivious to what's taking place. Bible prophecy is coming true. The book of Revelations is jumping off the page. And we're seeing it. We're seeing social media be used as a weapon against the minds of the masses. Now everybody's running around being performative. Nobody can be their authentic selves. Everybody seems to be fragmented, code switching. They can't just be who they are. They must conceal their true intentions when dealing with people. And it's to the point where in society these days, when you open up to individuals, it's taken advantage of. People look at being transparent as a vulnerability. Why? Because you're not supposed to speak from the heart in a world like this. And that's not normal. It's not normal that we can see the collapse of society. 82,000 jobs was terminated in America. We see trillions of dollars funding artificial intelligence, people losing jobs. We see a war taking place in Iran. And it was no existential threat whatsoever. But because of greed, you see these millionaires and billionaires using the armed forces as their own personal militia in order to do what? Enrich themselves. Meanwhile, the people are paying the price. That's not normal. You're living in a time such as never before, where when you speak out against the travesties that's going on culturally, economically, religious fallacies that are taking place, then people will frown upon that because they don't want to be made aware. So you become a target. And it runs deep. The Bible says your foes will be they of your own household. It also tells us in the scriptures that if you love mother, father, sister, brother more than the Most High, then you're not worthy of him. See, the Most High knew that we would be born into this matrix where some of us may have to overcome our own families to find salvation. And it's not normal for families to be separated the way they are, but it is prophetic. There was once upon a time when we had community. We had people that came together. Neighborhoods were united. People stood together in unison when there was any tragedy that took place in a community. That no longer exists. Neighbors don't even speak to each other no more. There was a time where husband and wife, they stuck it out. But that time no longer is in existence. The divorce rate is sky high. More than 80% of marriages end in divorce. People do not get along the way they should. And everybody's giving up on everyone. That's not normal. None of it's normal. But everybody acting like it is. Why? Because society tossed in some cheap thrills. They toss in some Uber Eats and some DoorDash, some short form content, and it shakes the equilibrium of people. And, you know, the masses are walking around face down, in their cellular device. Nobody's actually looking up to see what's going on in life. And then you got a lot of idol worship going on where people are living vicariously through others, which contributes to the lack of boundaries that a lot of people have. Social media allows people to invade people's privacy to a degree. And what I mean by that is when you have creators who do 24-hour streams and, you know, you watching everywhere they go, everything they do, you watch them while they're sleeping, like it's the Truman Show, then people get acclimated to having that type of exposure to people's lives. People are fiending for access that they shouldn't have, so privacy doesn't exist. People crossing everybody's boundaries. And you got this technology nowadays where everybody's tracing everybody. You got this thing going on now where everybody wants to share everybody's location. Listen, there was once upon a time in relationships where it was a spirit that was keeping relationships together. In times of old, a lot of our men were warriors. They would be gone for months, days, weeks. There was no cell phones. There was no GPS tracking. See, anybody you dealing with, it should be a frequency that y'all are operating under where you have an understanding. And nowadays, it's different. And man, we don't even have to go that far back to the days of old. I mean, even the 90s and 80s, people had more room to be and live. And when you look at it now, technology is a grid that's really keeping everybody in control. It's the mark of the beast system. And it's one of those things that you really got to analyze. It's not normal. But you know what the Bible say, that Satan wants to be like the Most High. He's just one big copycat. The Most High can number the hairs that's on our head. So what do Satan do? Put his satellites in the air to be able to trace you everywhere, put cameras everywhere, global positioning networks to do what? Watch your ins and outs, everything you do. Why? Because he wants to be like the Most High. None of this is normal, but people act like it's all normal. Now, we talk about some of the problems, but I'm going to bring some solutions. Look, brothers and sisters, we got to get back to nature. You know, we have to make sure that we are looking at our screen time. We have to do things that are natural. We have to know how to decompress from social media and from our workplace, because they keep us on this hamster wheel. And we have to make sure we're around people who give us space, healthy boundaries, all of that. And I'm just talking about all people. I don't care if it's your mother, father, sister, brother. Within reason, you should be able to have boundaries for yourself, and people should respect that. It just is what it is. But let me know if y'all relate to what I'm talking about. Do you see the change in society? Can you see that everybody is acting like it's just normalcy? But you can see, nah, this is not how things are supposed to be. Talk to me down in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Also, support the work at HebrewCare.com as well as NewBreedGlobalTruth.com. Thank y'all. Peace.